Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good everything. It's Colli from Dr. Colli Talks and Transformative Conversations. And I really, really, really hope this finds you in wonderful ways. Now, today, as I always say, we're going to go deep. And this is really deep because this is all about why trying harder is keeping you stuck. That's right. Why trying harder is keeping you stuck. I want to speak to the person who is currently pushing, and I mean pushing as hard as you can, and still feels like, you're standing still. You know what I mean. You've done the work, you've optimized your schedule, and you're grinding through the pain. Yet the results aren't matching the effort. So you need to think. You need more discipline. Uh. I'm telling you now that you're actually caught in the survival trap. After 30 years, that's right, 30 years of being in locker rooms, mhm, in the NHL, NBA, and PGA. Now, that doesn't mean I was in the locker rooms. I was working with these guys. And I was also working with students in Soccer Quest and junior hockey teams and individuals who were always wanting to excel and, to elevate, to go a little bit higher. And I was also working with surgeons in high stake environments and doing presentations for doctors at university and different academies in athlete academies and all over. And I've seen this time and time and time again. When the pressure ramps up, the human system breaks for impact. Yeah, it does. You're trying to drive your life with the emergency brake pulled away, and it's pulled all the way up. So, no amount of trying harder is going to actually fix a system that is stuck in a brace. That's right. No amount of trying harder will fix a system that is stuck in a brace. Let me say that one more time. No amount of trying harder will fix a system that is stuck in a brace. Now, you might ask, Colli, what is a brace? Well, it's a neurobiological emergency response. You see, when you feel threatened, whether it's by family manipulation, physical injury, financial dip, possible bullying, comparison, all these different things can play. Hidden loyalties, of which, I talk a lot about in family constellations. It shows up all the time. Your body constricts. Yes, you actually lose your peripheral vision, your creativity, and your ability to lead. Now, let me say that again. You lose your peripheral vision, your creativity, and your ability to lead. I recently stood on a stage in Florida with 168 people in the audience. And the place was amazing. It really was beautiful. It was just exquisite. But there was a brace in the room that was palpable. There were high achievers who were exhausted because they were using 80% of their energy just to hold themselves together. And it seems to me that the older we get, this seems to be more and more and more. And so people get trapped in the loop of efforting against their own biology. And, I didn't give them just a pep talk. Why? It doesn't work. You can't motivate someone. You can inspire someone. You cannot motivate because they have to have, in that environment, they have to have the capabilities and the skills and the beliefs and the values, and it has to all line up under their identity. And then it has to be totally, is it their ego? serving their soul, or is it their soul serving their ego? So I gave them a systemic reset. I showed them how to drop the brace and you know, enter the neutral place. Well, you ask, well, what's a neutral place? I understand. The neutral place isn't about relaxing. It is actually about command. It is the state where, say, the surgeon's hands become steady and the pro athlete's timing becomes perfect. That's what is called being in the zone of excellence. And that's a whole nother program I created, which, is going to be coming out soon too. But right now we're talking about this. The timing becomes perfect. You see, in neutral, the goo of the world stops sticking to you, and you stop being the victim of the uphill battle and actually become the specialist in the center of the field. This is how you escape the survival trap. You don't push harder, you change your frequency. We're all energy. And when you shift that frequency, your outside world shifts. You see, because I see so many conscious leaders hitting this wall right now, I've taken the exact protocols I've used with the pros over all the years. And I'm talking over all the years with the NBA, NHL, PGA, junior athletes, soccer quest athletes. Like I said before, different academies, different universities I've taught in, and how many thousands of individuals I've worked with. So I've taken that exact protocol and I've used over the years with the pros, and I've codified them into a clinical manual. This is the high performance protocol. It is a 30-slide surgical first aid kit for your brain, including 3 private audio briefings to talk you through the reset. Now I'm releasing this from my private vault today for $47. This isn't about anything other than pricing it this way because I want this infrastructure in your hands immediately and forever. You might need it for where you are at in your corporation. You might need it as you are working your way through and up in whatever field you are in. You might even need it for your grandchildren who are, coming up in the world of any sport or anything like dance or musical performance or whatever. You see, if trying harder hasn't worked, it's time to do something clinical. So, in order to claim your access and escape the trap, just send an e-transfer of $47 to innerexpression88@gmail. And I will personally send you the vault access today. Yeah, that's right. innerexpression88@gmail.com. And you know me by now. I'm not going anywhere. This is for real. So I will personally send you the vault access today. Stop fighting the mountain. Start inhabiting the neutral place. And I will see you there. Until next time, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, and enjoy.